So I think for us, we want to make sure it makes sense and our legislature is bought into it.
Now at 4, redrawing congressional maps. Indiana Governor Mike Braun weighing in today on the growing political controversy.
And another day where temperatures are staying hot, near 90 and expected over the weekend, but rain chances are going to creep back into the forecast.
Also, a big change if you're driving downtown, and it comes just in time for the start of a new work week. We have the converted street that you'll soon find on Indy's east side. Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News.
And happy Friday to you. Thanks for inviting us in for 13 News at 4 o'clock.
Dustin and Felicia are off tonight. We're Scott and Ann. And ahead, we're going to have much more on those stories. Plus, why there are thousands of musicians from all around the world that are here in Indy this weekend.
The Drum Corps International World Championships wrapping up. We want you to hear from some of the contestants about their week-long celebration.
Meantime, 86 degrees, sunny skies today and a Friday. A great day to go out and visit the Indiana State Fair. And in fact, our governor did just that this morning.
And our State House reporter Emily Longnecker caught up with the governor today to talk about the fair and his meeting yesterday with Vice President J.D. Vance.
Yeah, the governor took a tour today of the Taste of Indiana, basically getting a chance to sample all of the things that you can eat that come from Indiana farms. We talked to him about that, but also another topic that's in the forefront of people's minds, the possibility of redistricting here in Indiana.
A day after a high-profile visit from Vice President J.D. Vance to talk redistricting, Governor Mike Braun said no decision had been made about calling a special session to redraw Indiana's congressional district maps. The governor called it a good conversation between the vice president, Republican House Speaker Todd Houston, and Senate President Pro Tem Roderick Bray. At the center of the redistricting topic, Indiana's 9 congressional districts and their boundaries. 7 of those seats are held by Republicans, 2 are held by Democrats. Before any decision is made, Governor Braun said state Republican leadership would be checking in with lawmakers.
We think it's important to get out there and discuss it with the legislators, and that's what the Speaker and the President of the Senate's going to do, and we'll do that over the next few weeks. And they're okay with that because they want to make sure that if there are questions, they can answer them and that it's going to get broad-based support.
Democrats have characterized any move to change congressional district maps as a power grab and said it's about the Trump administration's fear of losing Republican seats in the House during the 2026 midterm elections.
And again, Governor Braun saying when it comes to the topic of redistricting, no firm commitments had been made, and there would be discussion with other lawmakers, some of the Republican leadership in the House and Senate, and other lawmakers in the coming weeks. At the Indiana State Fair, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
All right, Em, thanks so much.
Let's talk about the weather with Rob as we look live downtown right now. It's a beautiful summer day, everybody. It is warm. It is sunny. We've got some big clouds out there. I mean, I'm all in, Rob.
Yeah.
You laughing?
Well, I think Scott and I are laughing at the same thing.
Hit up that friend with a pool.
Yeah, that's what it said at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
That's definitely Baraka doing that, our producer. That's yeah, definitely a pool day. You know, if you're at the fair, because a lot of people are hitting the fair, one of those air-conditioned buildings, maybe do that as the hottest part of the day. But into the evening, it should be pretty nice. Yeah. Rain chances are on the lower side. That's some good news heading into the weekend. Expect the warm temperatures to continue. We're not going to change the forecast up too much. Really, what you see is what you get all the way through Saturday and Sunday. We're sitting at 88 currently. So far, that's the warmest we've been. There's not as much of a heat index, perhaps, as you would think. It's humid, but it's not terribly humid. So it feels like 93. It's 5 degrees warmer than it actually is. Most of the feels like temperatures are into the 90s or approaching triple digits, but we're definitely not in that dangerous category when it comes to feels like temperatures. Radar is quiet. There's not a whole lot that's been popping up. We expected this. I think we could see a couple of little pop-ups here and there. Much like what we saw yesterday, they're going to be few and far between, very small and isolated in nature. They'll last about 15 to 20 minutes and then they'll dissipate. We may see that through the evening, but it's certainly a lighter radar, a quieter radar than what we were dealing with yesterday at this time. Even that was on the lower side as far as how much we were seeing storm-wise. Through this evening, I do think, by the way, we could see 90 degrees before the day is said and done. Then we'll head into the 80s, and by the overnight, we'll make it back down into the 70s. If this forecast sounds familiar, because it's the almost identical forecast that I gave yesterday, low temperatures near 70, and tomorrow we pick the temperatures back up starting at 70, going up to near 90 yet again. I think we'll do just a bit better than 90 for tomorrow with all the sunshine that we're expecting. We'll do a high temperature of 91. Another warm day. I'll be back in a bit on the weather front to talk about rain chances on the increase. In the meantime, let's talk traffic a little bit, because we do have traffic that's starting to pick up. Few areas that we often notice this time through the splits as well. Couple of minor accidents that are popping up on the board. Nothing major, although 465 on the north side approaching, say, Keystone, moving eastbound. Watch for that. Let's hit a couple of the cameras to show you. This is the north split. We know this camera view because always at this time it is slow. A lot of this is because of the ongoing construction at 65 southbound just past the south split. That's going to always slow things down between the splits and 70 westbound at this time of day. Also because 70 eastbound is kind of going into that same area. 70 eastbound approaching the south split is going to be slow as well. In addition, look at this. Look at how nice that looks. 65, State Road 26. That looks pretty good at this hour.
All right, Rob, thanks so much. One city in Hamilton County is growing like crazy. In fact, they've even started a special census to find out how many people live there.
We're talking about Westfield, and it's not only the fastest growing city in the state of Indiana, but it now is the 6th fastest growing in the nation. Wow. We sent our Ella Rhodes there to find out more on this special census, and she joins us now live in studio. This is really surprising.
I know, crazy stuff. And it is just no surprise to the people that live there. They are seeing it and experiencing how fast this growth is just happening. Now, the last census in 2020, they think it's picked up so much since then. The mayor says in the last 5 years, it's grown so much that they need an update on its population now, not 5 years from now when the next census is. So if you live in Westfield and haven't yet received those census papers that you see on your screen, you'll get them in your mailbox within the next few days. And if you're in a newer home, someone with the Westfield census will drop by to get a head count for your household. So the growth is everywhere in the city, from construction for new businesses and homes to road widening projects. In the 2020 census, Westfield had around 46 to 47,000 people, but in the last 5 years, Mayor Scott Willis says he thinks the city has grown by 15 to 20,000 people. So having an accurate population count is important when it comes to funding from the state to properly provide for its residents.
So when there's a gap of what we think could be as much as 15,000 residents, that's a couple of $1 million worth of tax revenue every year that we're not getting back here in our city to invest in infrastructure, public safety, amenities. They're absolutely crucial to keep up with all this growth that you're seeing here.
So the census will be done around the second week of September, and the city hopes to have the results early next year.
Yeah, so if they're talking 15,000 more since then, you make a really good point when you're talking about 5 more years. Just extrapolate what that could mean.
Exactly.
So from an economic standpoint, I would guess there would be this domino effect, right, from every additional household that wasn't counted.
Yeah, exactly. So there would be millions in tax revenue that the city should really be benefiting from. Once they get this census, they'll know that. And I actually spoke with an econ expert at IU, and he was telling me this census is a really good sign for everybody in the city and also local businesses. So you'll hear from both of those in the next hour.
Yeah, we know Westfield is growing. We know Noblesville is too.
Yeah, Hamilton County is going crazy.
Big boom. All right, Ella Rhodes, thanks for joining us tonight.
Guys.
We'll look more for your coverage as our news continues.
Thank you.
Over on the east side of Indy, the conversion of New York and Michigan streets from one-way to two-way streets is now complete after a year and a half of work. There was a ribbon-cutting ceremony marking that milestone. Starting Monday, New York Street will officially become a two-way street. Then Tuesday, Michigan Street will open to two-way traffic between Highland Avenue and East Pleasant Run Parkway. The goal here of this conversion is to make the streets safer for cyclists, drivers, and pedestrians while encouraging foot traffic.
It's a great day for the Near East Side of Indianapolis and frankly for all of Indianapolis. For too many years, Michigan and New York as one-way thoroughfares have been frankly dangerous for neighbors, for cyclists, for pedestrians, and making them two-way will no doubt calm the traffic and make for a safer Near East Side.
This nearly $17 million project also included improvements to existing sidewalks, curbs, and accessible ramps. Well, today the city of Noblesville cut the ribbon on a new arena at Innovation Mile.
Yes, this is located along I-69 on the northeast side. And this ribbon cutting was happening at the mayor's 6th annual State of the City address. So the arena is the new home of the Noblesville Boom. They are the Pacers G League affiliate. And the arena just a few miles north of the Fishers Event Center. The mayor expects the arena will bring in about $2 billion in revenue over the next 30 years. It includes 4,200 seats. They have suites and also event space. Purdue University in Indianapolis students will have a back-to-school surprise. Yep, it's this. It's a brand new student center. It's a place to study, to have labs, to get student support, and also has library services. If you recognize this building, it does have a new life. It was a law office near Indiana Avenue and Northwest Street downtown. But Purdue bought this 2-story, 25,000 square foot building, and they are transitioning it for the upcoming school year. And that does kick off later this month, August 25th.
Well, you know, there's that saying that everything is bigger in Texas, including the fight over congressional redistricting. We've got the measures Republicans are now considering as they try to take a vote.
Plus, we have the president's new target on the global war on drugs. Rob?
Well, happy Friday to all of you. We're heading into the weekend. We've got more warm temperatures. We've got 90s for tomorrow, but you do get plenty of sunshine. I'll talk more about the Saturday and Sunday forecast coming up.